Good morning, students. In the previous class, we have observed biological significance of sodium, potassium, and chlorine. Today, I am going to explain you about biological significance of calcium. Let us see what are the sources. Sources means what are the food items we have to take for calcium is nothing but here. That is milk, cheese, beans, cabbage, nuts, cauliflower, etc. So what are the sources we are going to take here? Milk, cheese, beans, cabbage, nuts and cauliflower. So what is at which it is going to absorb? So what is absorbed in the calcium means? So let us see next one, absorption. So generally calcium is taken in our diet as calcium phosphate, calcium carbonate, calcium tartrate and oxalate. It is mainly absorbed in small intestine. And vitamin D, whatever vitamin D is present, it promotes the absorption of calcium from the intestine. So here generally calcium is taken in diet as calcium phosphate, carbonate, tartrate and oxalate. So in our daily diet we are taking this calcium as phosphate, carbonate, tartrate and oxalate, and here mainly calcium is absorbed in small intestine. As I have told you, intestine is nothing but what? Long tubular organ from digestive system, means from the end of the stomach to the anus. It contains one long tubular. So this is it, like this it contains from stomach, from end of the stomach to anus. Means like this we are going to have in our stomach the digestive system. To this digestive system what happens? It will be some tube, that one we call it as what here? Intestine. So here mainly vitamin D promotes the absorption of calcium. Promotes absorption of calcium from the intestine. Okay, so this is about absorption. So then how it is distributed? How it is distributed in our body? The calcium is, how it is going to distribute in our body means, so generally calcium is the most abundant metal in body that is found in the body. Mainly calcium and phosphorus are most important non-protein building materials, we can say. Approximately 99% of calcium is present in bones and our teeth. So what are the elements bone exist? That one has a salt of carbonate and phosphate, and also we will be getting parathyroid hormone increases by absorbing the calcium from the gut. So where we are distributing the calcium? Generally calcium is the most abundant metal found in the body. Calcium and phosphorus are most important non-protein body building materials. and also approximately 99% of calcium is in bones and teeth. So in the element in bones exist as a double salt of carbonate and phosphate, that is CaCO3 and Ca3PO4 twice. So this is about the calcium, how it is distributing in our body. So now let us see how blood calcium, how it works in the blood. So next, what is next source? Our next source is blood calcium mix regulation. Generally, blood contains about 9 to 11.5 milligram per 100 ml of calcium. Most of calcium is present in plasma, very little amount only present in red blood cells. So what happens here? Most of calcium present in plasma, very little amount is in red blood cells. So daily how much we require calcium? Generally, daily requirement of calcium for our body is daily requirement of calcium is 0.45 milligrams per kg weight. So this much is sufficient for our body. So now let us see the functions. What are the biological functions? This is about the distribution and also absorption and sources and how much it is containing in the blood. So our first function is here, mineralization of cartilage into bone. What is our first function? Mineralization of cartilage into bone. So here cartilage is nothing but what? Generally we are having bones like this, yes or no? So we are having bones like this. So here there will be some flexible tissue and also we can say here some gum like it will be. So this one we call it as cartilage. Okay, to the bones what happens? It is like a smooth elastic tissue and it will act as like gum to the bones. So here this smooth elastic tissue and a rubber like padding the corners and also it protects the end of the long bones at the joints. Okay, so means what here? This will act as, it means it gum like structure will act as the cartilage for the bones. So generally bone consists, on an average bone consists 25% organic matrix and 75% inorganic matrix. Okay, so what happens? Generally, this bone contains mineralization means what? Mineralization means what here? Which will allow means it is a protein like here the organic matrix generally consists of collagen fibers. So this organic consists of what? Collagen fibers, which is a mainly it is a protein found throughout our body. So these collagen fibers throughout our body it is going to form. Why? Because it is a protein, so it provides strength also, and also it will be in a different areas like ears, nose, like this it will be containing. So generally inorganic salts, these inorganic salts are going to deposit in the organic matrix of bone, which is known as means the inorganic salts deposited in the inorganic salt deposited in the organic matrix of bone are called hydroxyapatite. Hydroxyapatite. So here whenever we are inserting to the organic matrix of bone, that one we call it as hydroxyapatite. So which is a major component. So this is the major component and then essential ingredient of normal bone and its teeth. So this is the main component of the apatite is nothing but what here? This hydroxyapatite is main component for the formation of the bones and teeth. So generally here these salts will what are these salts here? Calcium and phosphate ions. So the concentration of calcium and phosphate ions generally is in extracellular fluid. So extracellular means what here what happens outside the plasma. So which are more enough to cause the 2-hydroxyapatite. So generally the formation of complete bone occurs in mainly two types. So what are the two steps? Means first of all the production of collagen. So first of all it will produce collagen and the ground substance by the osteoblasts to form cartilage, and the second step is the replacement of ground substance of the cartilage by hydroxyapatite. So this process we call it as mineralization of bone. So what happens? The formation of bone generally the formation of bone takes place in two steps. That is first step. So what is the first step? First of all we have to produce, means the production means the fiber should product, we should produce strength, collagen and ground substance by the osteoblasts to form cartilage. So osteoblast is nothing but what here? To manipulate the bone, means what? To form a new bone. To form new bone we call it as osteoblast. So and cartilage is nothing but what I have told you. Cartilage is nothing but here which will act as a gum-like tissue. Yes or no? Cartilage is nothing but what? Gum-like tissue to this support. So first when we produce collagen and the ground substance by the osteoblasts which is producing new bone. So whenever we are getting new bone to form the cartilage. So then afterwards we have to remove the replacement of ground substance of the cartilage by hydroxyapatite. So this one we call it as what? Mineralization of cartilage into bone. So what is mineralization of cartilage into bone? Generally bone consists of 25% organic matrix and 75% inorganic matrix. So organic matrix we call it as collagen fibers, whereas inorganic salts, when we are depositing in the organic matrix of bone, that one we call it as hydroxyapatite. So here inorganic salts what we are using is nothing but here, that is calcium and phosphate ions. So whenever we are using, the concentration of calcium and phosphate ions is in extracellular fluid and plasma are more enough to cause the preparation of hydroxyapatite. To prepare hydroxyapatite, plasma is very important for this. Okay, so to form the complete bone, so first of all we have to prepare the collagen and the ground substance. But means, for example, the bone is broken, so a new bone is forming after doing operation. So what happens? That one we call it as osteoblast. A new bone formed, we call it as osteoblast to form cartilage. So then after that we have to replace this cartilage and we have to keep it by hydroxyapatite. That one we call it as what here? Mineralization of bone. Next one, what is the next function is here? Calcium in growth. What is next function? Calcium in growth. Without bone development there cannot be growth. So calcium is most important for our growth. So what happens? Without bone development there can't be growth. So calcium is essential for our growth. Okay, so this is the second. If calcium is not there, our bone growth will be not there. And next one, in blood coagulation. Generally Ca+2 ions we are taking. So it will produce thromboplastin. Thromboplastin is a mixture of both phospholipids and a tissue which is found in plasma blood, and in the conversion of prothrombin to thrombin also. So what happens here? Calcium helps for the in a blood coagulation. This calcium ion helps for the production of helps for the production of thromboplastin and in the conversion of prothrombin to thrombin. So generally thromboplastin is nothing but what means? It is a mixture of both phospholipids and a tissue functions found in mainly plasma blood disease. This thromboplastin found in mainly plasma blood. So this contains a phospholipids, means phosphates, and tissue. So here this is a thrombin. Prothrombin is nothing but what here? It is a protein connected to the liver. So this prothrombin and thrombin is nothing but what? Which is a protein connected to the liver. For this, these are used. So and the next function. And the next function is activation of enzymes. Next function is what? Activation of enzymes. So to activate enzymes, we need a calcium. So how it is activated? Calcium is activated by enzymes, lipase, succinic dehydrogenase, adenosine triphosphate, and proteolytic enzymes. So what are the enzymes we are using here? Mainly the enzymes lipase, succinic dehydrogenase, adenosine triphosphatase are activated by calcium. So these are the enzymes we have to activated by calcium. So next one, so neuromuscular transmission. What is next one? Neuromuscular transmission. So generally nerve impulse, neuromuscular transmission here. So generally when we are transmitting, means whenever the electrical charge from nerves, so whenever it is producing a nerves to the membrane of the neuron, means what here, it is producing some signals to our nerves to muscles. That when we call it as at a neuromuscular junction, we call it as neuromuscular transmission. So this is generally produces it, this will release acetylcholine. So choline is nothing but what, it is a nutrient produced in our body. Okay, so means what, it will help for the nerve signals as well as also liver. So here which act as neurohumor transmitter, acetyl, whenever it is releasing of acetylcholine, which act as a neurohumor transmitter, means what, bone in the upper arm, we call it as humor. Okay, so what is neuromuscular transmission here? Nerves, from nerves to a muscle across. So whenever it is transmission of nerves to a muscle is taking place, that one we call it as neuromuscular transmission. So they release, generally what happens, they release acetylcholine. So acetylcholine is nothing but, so acetyl group, as we know, choline, which will help nerves, means it is Ca+2 will help for the release of the acetylcholine myelin, so which will help for the nerves and also functions for the signaling as well as nerve signaling as well as liver also it will be used, and also for muscle, also muscle functioning, liver, and also for nerves this choline is used. So which act as neurohumor transmitter. Humor is nothing but here upper part of the bone, upper part of the bone on, we call it as humor. So this is about how it is functioning as neuromuscular transmitter. So next one, in muscle contraction, what is next function? In muscle contraction, so muscle contraction is nothing but calcium ions neutralize the negative charge of myosin, which combines with negatively charged actin. So these, then the contraction takes place. So these ions, calcium ions, activate the myosin. Myosin is nothing but what, means here, which is found in mainly here myosin is a one chemical name. Actin is nothing but found in eukaryotic cell, which is a red blood cells. So multifunctional proteins, we can say these are microfilaments. Filaments is nothing but what here, thread like structure. So what happens here, calcium ion neutralize the negative charge of myosin when they combine with negative charge of actin. So what is actin? So these two are the mainly found in eukaryotic cells, red blood cells, and also it is a multifunctional protons. These two are the, so mainly they form microfilaments. Microfilaments mean what? They form a thread-like structures. So and the next function is excitability of nerves. Sometimes our nerves will excite. Excitability of nerves. So what happens? calcium is the main reason for the excitability of the nerves. Next, electrical excitability of heart. Calcium ions generally it is normal. Sometimes calcium deficiency causes rapid weakening and also heart breaks. That is because of the excitability of heart only. Means what happens in normal concerns are essential for normal excitability of heart. So what happens, calcium deficiency, because of calcium deficiency causes weakening and failure of heartbeats, and also cell permeability is decreased by calcium. What happens, what is next one, cell permeability is decreased by calcium. So these are the functions of the calcium. What is first one, mineralization of cartilage into bone, and second one is calcium in growth and in blood coagulation, activation of enzymes, and also neuromuscular transmitters, muscle contraction, excitability of nerves and heart, and also cell permeability. If suppose calcium is less, that when we call it as hypokalemia. If suppose his calcium is less, what is the condition? That when we call it as what? In plasma, if calcium is very low, then we cause deficiency of parathyroidism, and also it leads to increased peripheral numbs. Means what here, from nervous system which is outside the central nervous system and outside the brain and spinal cord, we call it a peripheral nervous system. So due to the presence of low calcium, means what here, hypocalcemia we call. So because of this low calcium, if calcium is less in our body, we will get parathyroidism, and also it is increased excitability of peripheral nerves. Excitability of peripheral nerves. So this is about hypocalcemia. What about hypercalcemia, when calcium is more than normal? So what happens here? This condition is called hypercalcemia. Means overactivity of parathyroidism. What happens? There will be depression of nervous system and weakness of muscles. If calcium is less, also we will be getting this hormone mainly acts as with calcium, which means from nervous system that are outside the central nervous system and also brain and also spinal cord. Suppose if we take more high calcium, means that when we call it as hypercalcemia. If the calcium is more, then what happens? What are the things we are going to consider? So depression of central nervous system, and weakening of muscles going to take place. So if very low, these are the diseases we are going to take place. If very high, these are the diseases we are going to take place. Generally rickets in children, osteoporosis in adults, it is going to. What are the calcium disease deficiency diseases is nothing but here faulty calcification of bones in children, due to deficiency of vitamin D also we can say. So this is mainly rickets. If you have observed, rickets is nothing but like this the legs will be for children. Means what, there will be some bone bending like that, it is going to takes place. Osteoporosis is mainly is observed in if vitamin D is less due to the deficiency of vitamin D, calcium. So it is mainly observed in adults. So here what happens, what are the diseases we are going to take place? Decalcification. Here calcification of bones, but coming to here what happens for adults? Decalcification of bones, hypoparathyroidism, low vitamin D content of the body. Decalcification is nothing but what, softening of bones due to the removal of calcium ions. Okay, so the bones will become soft. Why? Because the calcium is removed, and vitamin D content will be also very less. And for this the symptoms will be fracture of bones, pain due to fracture of vertebrae, means what, backbone. So here mainly fracture of bones and pain due to fracture of vertebrate. What is vertebrate? Backbone. One we call it as, means whatever the backbone it is having for animals mainly, that one we call it as backbones, and mainly bones will get fraction due to the presence of the calcium only. So whenever the calcium is less, the backbone will be getting, for animals also there will be fraction, and for human beings also there will be fracture of bones. Thank you.